Welcome to the Our Essence of Serenity YouTube channel. My name is Amaru.
And my name is Shana.
And we are actually here to tell y'all a little bit of our foundation, how we got started as far as not just with our business, Our Essence of Serenity, but more so our reunion of actually reuniting in this lifetime.
So a little background about us. We've been married for 4 years. We met in 2015. Actually, we went to high school together. That's what he means by us reconnecting, but also past lifetimes. But that's a topic for another day.
Indeed.
So,
Indeed.
You want to tell them how we met?
Yeah, I was. This was when I was on Facebook, as those who.
You kind of still.
Well, I mean, yeah, kind of for the business, but as far as like when I had a personal account, which years ago, I would use the platform as far as enlightenment, as far as talking about a lot of stuff that obviously wasn't being put out there. And not knowing that Shana, she was intrigued by some of my posts and whatnot as far as a particular topic. I forgot what it was at the time. I don't know if it was.
I had posted a video about this mom and daughter who they were sleeping together.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a conversation under that post.
Yeah, and base, yeah. Go ahead.
But I can't remember I remember at some point I reached out to him about his post. I just can't remember if that was before that post or afterwards. Because like he said, I noticed that his posts were different from the typical stuff you see at that time. Now you see more, I don't like to use the word conscious stuff, but now you see more people talking about the stuff that he would talk about years prior.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, it was a conversation that we had underneath the post that I posted. And this is something I can't remember if I told you in the beginning or months later, but it wasn't that soon afterwards that during that one conversation, I realized how much I loved him. Even though that was like the first time I think that was the first time we ever conversed.
Right.
So.
It all started with a question, and we'll go more into that question later down the line as we talk more of our journey. Not necessarily just together, but also our individual journeys, what led up to that point. But it all started with a question, and she knew from right there that there was something intriguing as far as my approach, because I wanted to come at her in a way that was, of course, unique and in my own way. So when I asked her that question, that really opened the doorway as far as breaking the ice for a lot of things and reassuring what she already felt and what I already felt. Until one day we were like, you know what, you want to link up? And we actually met up at Chili's.
I asked him if he believed in dreams because based off of the question that he asked, and like he said, maybe one day we'll go more in detail when it comes to that question. But it let me know that I could talk to him about certain things that you can't talk to everybody about spiritually. So I think I texted you and I asked you if you believe in there being messages sent to us through dreams. I know I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, let's meet up tomorrow and let's discuss it. So we met up at Chili's. But the night that he commented on my Instagram post, no, not Instagram, Facebook, I contacted one of my close cousins and I was like, I think I'm crazy because we never really conversed on a personal level.
Right.
And I was telling her that I have love for him, but I thought maybe something was wrong with me until she broke down the fact that I won't use the exact terminology that she used, but more so what she was saying was that he was able to get into a space when it comes to me that other men prior had not been able to. And then also, remember you sent me, I remember I was at work and I had got a text message from him. And prior to me meeting him, there's a conversation I had with God. And then I had kind of told my close cousin a little bit about the conversation. Well, remember you sent me a text message that basically said word from word the discussion that I had with God. And so I remember my coworker, she was standing in front of me and she was just laughing and talking. So I'm looking at her, trying to engage with her in conversation, but I'm looking at my phone also like, because like like, what in the world? And so I remember when I went home, I actually had my mama to read it. And so yeah.
Yeah, that was really my way of letting her know that I really am in tune with you. Because as you know, first impressions are everything. But my whole thing was letting her know who I was from within. So a lot of people dictate how they feel about a particular person based off what they see or certain things that this particular individual may have. But I wanted her to feel my soul and how I engaged with her. So I would ask her and I would tell her certain things as far as her dreams and what she was feeling in those moments and what it meant to her, to let her know that I am the real deal. And I am what you feel I am, which was her twin. And
Flame.
Twin flame. Yeah, let me reiterate on that. Yeah, because this day and age, you gotta twin flame. Like it wasn't on no incest stuff.
I know we favor, but
right, we kind of look alike and whatnot. That's more in the sense just validation,
spiritual connection. Right?
Exactly, that spiritual connection.
And for those that don't know what a twin flame is, just briefly, it's two souls that's actually how can I put it? They're split, but they come together and they make one flame. Yeah. So basically, a reflection of each other.
Right.
But so after Chili's, and the thing is, it's not like when we met at Chili's, it's not like it was a date. And I'm not saying that because I wasn't attracted to him and he wasn't attracted to me. It was just more so like an opportunity based off of, I think maybe the 2 previous conversations we had, for us to kind of connect in person and talk about certain things more in detail. And then after, the crazy part is, I thought that, okay, so that next weekend is when I thought that it was our first date. But I found out about a year ago that was not a first date. But, and I thought that first date that he was my boyfriend. Until one day we was laying in bed and you asked me if I would be yours. Yeah. And I kind of paused because I thought to myself, I thought I already
and that wasn't no slick.
But he was, it wasn't.
It was just, it was already initiated spiritually. Like it was already felt. The connection had already been established. It was just one of those things of me being formal, because it's like I noticed, like, dang, I didn't really actually ask her
this
to be
was
mine.
This was like maybe a month in.
Right, so I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and ask her. So just to put it out there, so she'll know. You know what I'm saying? But she already knew, you know what I'm saying? But like I said,
because I was telling people you was my boyfriend.
I felt the same way as you being my girl. It's just that, like I said, I realized in that moment when laying there in bed that, dang, I didn't really ask her.
So let me ask you, do you remember that date? I know. So the crazy part is, I know it was sometime in September. So the crazy part is, we couldn't even say what the anniversary date would have been for us, but we actually got engaged like less than a year afterwards. So it's kind of like, it's not like we really had to celebrate that anniversary because we really don't know what date that was.
Right. It's hard to explain in a sense because it's like we're not basing it on time. We're basing it on a reconnection. You know what I'm saying? So once that was reestablished, it was like so many things just came with that naturally to where it's like there really is no need to address it. But at the same time, it's like, wait, we forgot to do this or we forgot that, but we already did it kind of thing.
But we was together like from that first, because I remember the next day I was actually going to a job interview within the company that I was already working at. And you sent me a message saying that you enjoyed us meeting up and you hoped that we could do it again. And then that weekend we met up. And every weekend after that, we were pretty much like, it would be us hanging out together. So fast forward. And when I say fast forward, we fast forwarded through a lot of story times that maybe one day we'll have to tell y'all. Just know that everything was not easy, but everything was not difficult. So then I think a couple of months after that, I was working evening shifts. You were working like morning to evening.
Typically, yeah.
So that we could kind of have similar schedules, I actually got another position at my job that gave me an earlier schedule together. And then, so let's say we met that August of 2015, and then we moved in together that June of 2016. And then that July 2017. No, 2016. On my sweetness birthday, he proposed to me.
Yeah, I had to do it in a way to where it's like, for one, it had to be original,
Right.
and two, she couldn't see it coming.
And I did not see it coming.
Yes, she could not see that coming. My whole thing is that day. Yes, it was a justification of me being here in this existence as far as it being my Earth Day, but it was more to me as far as a rebirth, because I was actually experiencing my existence with the woman that I know was meant for me. Like the depths of it, or even just finding the words to justify what this woman means to me is like it takes like that'll take a minute to actually find the right words that do justice. But I had to let her know in every way that, now, for one, that I'm faithful, I'm committed, but at the same time, I don't have to prove these things to you because it's already being done in my actions. Like, she knows. It's not like I had to tell her. She feels my essence. So that's another reason why I'm actually happy to be an individual that doesn't like to lie, because it's like you let off certain frequencies and they can be misleading, can lead to certain things that are catastrophic. But at the same time, you breaking that bond, that loyalty with your companion. So it's always good to be real with her. Well, men speaking towards your female companions, and women to men, vice versa, exactly. So because of that, there was just so many things that we endured together. Like you said, we went through a lot of stuff. But it's not because it was more internal. It was because
it was outside,
trying to tear us apart.
Stuff,
We're just from being together, but we stuck with it, man. We
and here we are. Well, almost 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years.
Yeah. At one point, it seemed like time was going by slow. Now it seems like it's speeding up, because last month we just celebrated our 4th year of being married. Yeah. So, but I'm trying to think of what else without giving away, because we're gonna eventually have story times. But this, to piggyback off of what you said, this is the first guy I've been with and it's not because I'm naive, it's not because they say love is blind, but it's because it's like he said and I said, we're twin flames, and that's on like a deeper connection. So it's kind of like, it's like when he's down, I can feel it, and I'll keep asking him like, what's wrong, and vice versa. So with that being said, I've never had to question if he's unfaithful to me. It's even been times where there could have been opportunities from outside forces, but he would come to me and show me how he handled that. And honestly, it's not like I appreciate it, but because I know him so well, it's not like it's something that I needed that to know the type of person he is. Like, but I'm trying to think, is there anything else? So, no. So is there anything else? And one day we may post the engagement video.
Yeah, one day we'll do. We'll definitely put that out there as far as giving you more volume to the magnitude that we have and that we share together. Because it's like, we get told all the time, like when we enter certain places, our energy is felt. And it's because of how real and genuine we are. We embrace one another and we support one another, but at the same time, it's one of those aspects of love really isn't enough. You know what I'm saying? Love, it's the essence, and it can also be the foundation of why you link up with a particular individual, but it's the respect that you have for that companion. That's what keeps you loyal. That's what keeps you faithful. That's what keeps it to where it's like, no matter what y'all go through, y'all always have this. Rather than trying to pull each other to where you need to be, you will always have this synchronicity. And that is something that I am truly thankful to have, because we both have had some enduring past as far as certain individuals, trifling individuals, that have tried to alter us off our paths. But because fate already had it predestined for us to, eventually intersect and eventually merge into one road, still having our individual roads though, we are able to conquer and prevail against all. So
And I would say more so when it comes to my past, and I won't go in detail, but my past was different in the sense of it started at a young age with someone. So it's kind of like going from that young, early 20s to late 20s, you know? So it's kind of like when you start off and you go from such a broad time frame, you're going through ups and downs because each person is growing this way or that way, or sometimes you're stagnant in your growth. Whereas with my husband, it was more so, it was a little different in a sense of, but it was different, but we have similarities when it comes to our past. But it's just keeping in mind that the other person was still young, also still growing the same here. But there was something, another thing is you see a lot of couples nowadays that's trying to be like, I guess, and I'm not really up on the social media slang or just the slang period, but or the hashtags, whatever you call it. But couples goals, that's something we don't engage in. We're not a perfect couple, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of like one of those things to whereas our relationship is different, and it's different because it's based off of our path. It's based off of our connection. So we don't try to go on social media and see, okay, what is this couple doing? What is that couple doing? And then try to mimic our relationship after that. Which to me, if you going through day-to-day life with this person, it's kind of hard to mimic. But I know people mimic for social media purposes. But it's kind of hard to mimic after another couple when, to me, when you're actually going through everyday life issues and good times and bad times. So,
Right.
But
I agree, and it's like how can you prove that those occurrences that you have with that companion is actually meant for y'all when you're too busy trying to
right,
reflect off somebody else's shine? You know what I'm saying? So it's like Shauna was saying, you got to stay true to your path. You got to stay true to who you are as your companion with your mate, so that way your relationship is as smooth as you can make it. Because life has its way of giving you those enduring trials and tribulations, and you have to individually know how to handle them. At the same time, you got to make sure, based on the decision, it doesn't affect your other one. That's why you keep them close, as far as not having to do it alone. And that's the beautiful thing when you have someone that you can truly trust and not have to second guess or have any doubts with. Like, you know that you're going to make it. It may be an enduring time, but at the same time, this particular person understands you and understands you more than anyone else could, because of the experiences, because of the transgressions that you've had with this particular person, the inspirations, all that wrapped into one. It's a beautiful thing to have all the ups and downs, because you know it's like no matter what, like, we got this.
right. And that's one thing is I know I'm not perfect, but I have like anybody, good qualities and bad qualities. And it's like I'm with somebody to whereas I don't have to feel like if I make a mistake or if I'm having a bad day or if I'm going through something that how can I put it? I guess it's reflecting the lower part of myself. I don't have to worry if he's going to leave. Not to say I would take advantage of that and be like, oh, well, you're not going anywhere. But it's like I know that even through the ups and the downs, that's not something that I have to question in the back of my mind. Don't get me wrong. Anybody that's in a marriage where you want to see your mate happy, just because you know that it is a thing to whereas this person is with me and they got me, it's like you still work on yourself to become a better person for yourself and for your mate, but keeping in mind that there's no such thing as perfection. And I think that's the part for me is that when I'm going through something and I make a bad decision or I'm not where I know I should be, it's the whole thing of disappointing myself and disappointing him. So that's one thing that I'm working on. But it was something else that I was going to say. like we said, when it comes to how we met and how everything first started, we kind of gave like a brief synopsis. But I would say even like the first 3 months, I would say 3 to 6 months, we got like, if we was to tell y'all the story times in between, we'd probably be uploading like 20 videos. So like I said, it's just we were trying to say it in a way to whereas we're not going in detail with certain things, but eventually some of those topics we may make into a story time. But so in 2017, I'm not really good with remembering.
2016 as far as when the business started?
Did it start in 2016? It did start in 2016. So in 2016, we started Our Essence of Serenity. And Our Essence of Serenity, basically, it's based off of spirituality. So we make high vibrational jewelry pieces incorporating gemstones. We also do things on the side, like I make press-on nails. We do website design, graphic design,
painting portraits, making medicine bags. I mean, you name it, anything that can be incorporated into an individual's daily journey. We like to incorporate those particular tools so that way it can amplify what you've already established from within.
Right.
So that's why we call it Our Essence of Serenity, because we want to be as pure as we can be when it comes to the transparency and when it comes to how natural we are, when it comes to what we make and what we represent as far as self. So that's something that we wanted to share with everybody, because it's not all about what you get, it's also about what you give back.
Right.
So as my queen was just saying, that Our Essence of Serenity, excuse me, is a platform to where if you're going through a particular situation, whether it's vibrational wise or if you're going through something spiritually enduring, we have certain tools that can help you prevail and overcome those particular situations.
We also do DJing.
Yeah.
And we design like apparel, coffee mugs, different accessories. So all of that will be linked in the description. It feels weird saying that because we never did it. We've been wanting to do this for a minute, but it's like the timing and everything. Right. So I'm trying to think what else. Also, we'll have our Instagram linked below. We'll have Facebook. To be honest with y'all, we were off of social media for 3 years. We got off in 2017 and got back on in 2020. So it's like kind of still getting back into the groove of more so promoting the business. We don't have personal, well, I do, but that's more so for networking and groups. But so we're trying to get back into engaging more in social media. So you can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. What else am I forgetting? I think I was supposed to say like, comment, and subscribe.
No, yeah. No, I mean, this is like she said. It's
the first video.
So we wanted to be real with it. A lot of people, they want to be all professional. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. Professionalism is the key. But be real about it as well. You know what I'm saying? And everything doesn't have to be perfect. This is all about the journey. So this definitely won't be the only video we do. There will be others following it, but this is just more so an introduction as to who we are. And soon it will be more based off what we are as far as our mission and why we're doing this and why we decided to make this decision. Because like my queen said, we haven't been on social media for a minute for obvious reasons. But we understand that it's a platform that is utilized from a lot of people. So because of that, sometimes you got to ride a wave. And when riding that wave, you have to get what you want out of it to direct certain people to where you want them to go to see what vision you're putting out.
And to help them.
Exactly. So.
And really, to be honest, that's one of the motivating factors for us to start the YouTube channel, because if it was just up to us, we wouldn't have a YouTube channel. Don't get me wrong, I like watching YouTube videos, but as far as being someone that put myself out there to share such personal information, That's not how either one of us are. But we've had several conversations on how we have something to offer to help others. And like he said, this is a platform where that audience is. And then we know that there's some of you out there who have stuff to offer to help us. So I think this is a time where that's needed, especially with, and I won't say that there's just so much negativity going on, but kind of to keep that balance, because you really do need a balance of both, or whatnot, but just us doing our part, but doing it in our own way.
Exactly. So. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this world right now, and we have decided to take not necessarily just a stand, but to utilize our voices into helping those reprogram what has been conditioned, whether it's been through oppression, whether it's been through repetition. We're just more in the sense of showing that we all go through certain things, and it's really based off choice on whether or not you want to deal with that misery, or you want to overcome them. If you want to get to a point to where it's like I'm more self-centered as to eliminating the doubts of knowing what I'm capable of doing. In other words, knowing your true worth, knowing self-worth. So that's another reason why we wanted to do this, because nobody really has it all figured out, but at the same time, we each play a key part, like a raindrop in the ocean kind of thing.
It's no coincidence when you say that, because it's
raining. Right, and then it starts raining, so it just lets you know that the frequencies and the signals are being received as far as us putting this out. But this is just more in the sense of, like I said, we have a voice, and it's time for us to utilize it. We all have a past, and it's all about how we want to showcase that canvas that we're constantly, adding our emotions in our overall journey. But yeah.
So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and close out this video. Again, if you go in our description, you'll see different links to what we have to offer. Also, certain things that we utilize on our path that help us. It'll be that aids us, shall I say. You can click on those links, and y'all shall see us soon.
Yeah. Like Queen said, we're pretty much all about harmonizing the mentality, the physicality, and the spirituality into one harmonious flow.
Right.
So by doing so, stay tuned.
And what do they need to do?
I don't know what they need to do.
3 things.
What's the 3 things?
Subscribe.
Link. Comment, like, comment, and subscribe.
All right.